enhance that. 2nd and 6 as we begin the 4th quarter. And they give it back to Coburn, and he'll be close to another first down. And we talked to Mark Trestman about this yesterday, how often last week and again tonight they are converting on 2nd down on the ground.
When they can do it along the ground. And I asked Trestman if that was by design, that you wanted to sort of break trends, because most people want to run on 1st down, throw on 2nd down. He said not consciously. He said, again, we put that package together with Milanovic and I, and when he gets a feeling on what we should be doing along the ground, then we go with it.
Another long clock-eating drive for Calvillo, a quick hitter into the flat, and Bratton can't bring it down, working against Lawrence Gordon.
Incomplete.
And there haven't been many 2nd and longs tonight for the Alouettes.
Little timing route here as Bratton's going to come down and break on this out like this. Calvillo's got to throw it as soon as he turns. Like right there, ball's in the air. The timing is right. It's just a little low and to the outside. Can't defend that if it's on the money.
So 2nd and 10, already Calvillo's biggest night of the year. And almost a whole quarter left. Coburn inside, and Coburn down to the 10-yard line. Very close to another first down. This will likely require a measurement.
Clearly this Hamilton defense is starting to tire as well. You mentioned the time of possession difference. So this game has rolled on, and the longer your defense is out there and starting to run the ball successfully, it starts to get tired, especially for the big boys up front.
Chains are coming out.
And remember, they lost Darrell Adams, so that's their rotation gone. That leaves 4 down linemen up front.
And here's the test for Hamilton. Trying to collar this offense in the 4th quarter that has outscored its opponents. Montreal's outscored in the first 3 weeks their opponents 57-9, including 31 here against Edmonton in the 4th quarter 2 weeks ago. So they've started quickly in games this year, and they have finished with emphasis. Will that continue tonight? 3rd down, McPherson in. And again, straight ahead, should have enough.
Porteur le ballon, McPherson, the ball carrier.
Anthony Calvillo passing Ron Lancaster tonight. Comes 2nd all-time in touchdown passes. Got off to a little bit of a slow start in that 1st quarter, but he didn't have as many opportunities. The Hamilton Tiger Cats offensively, he'll have a first down there. The Hamilton Tiger Cats offensively moved the ball quite well in the 1st quarter. They didn't come away with points, though, and that's now come back to haunt them, because now they have a big hole to climb out of and only 13 left to do it. Calvillo knocking on the door again.
First drive of the 3rd quarter. Montreal took it down the field, and then they got stopped at about the 6-yard line, and Hamilton trying to duplicate that here. Although a turnover would be even better if you're a Ticat fan. Trying to put the brakes on this machine. The Alouettes. Big to Coburn. On a roll, hold it down with a nifty move, and then has it batted down. Is that intercepted?
Was it intercepted? One, was Anthony Calvillo over the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball, and was that the flag?
So it looked like Calvillo had crossed the line of scrimmage. Dennis Haley's got the ball, and did Hamilton get the turnover that they need? Yes. So another impressive Montreal drive is stopped, and Hamilton takes over.
Son extra soleil,
Strange play. Dennis Haley still celebrating his first interception of the year as the Ticat defense comes up big inside the 10 again.
It's the small things. It's team defense. I want to show you Justin Hickman and how important he was in the play. He's right here, and what's going to happen, he's going to get containment. That forces Calvillo back to the inside, and now there's all kinds of traffic right in here rather than him getting the corner and a throwing lane. Because he's forced inside, he throws it. Jamal Johnson knocks it up in the air, and Dennis Haley gets the interception.
Ball bounced around a little, landed in his lap, and Kevin Glenn takes over on offense, starting at his own 4-yard line. And Glenn buys a little real estate there with that quick hitter to Marquis McDaniel. So let's check the numbers on Quentin Porter for the night. Second straight game he has started but not finished.
Just 155 passing. His completion percentage is down. I mentioned coming in that he was around 70%. Second only to Anthony Calvillo on the league list when he came into this game tonight. So that drops a little bit. One interception. He couldn't find the end zone again.
52.2%. Second and 2 after the 8-yard pickup. And the pass to Cobb out of the backfield. And Cobb with a big move. And now takes off and just tripped up. Etienne Boulay saved a lot of real estate, but a big play by Cobb, his best of the night. 24 yards for the Ticats.
There's still plenty of time in this football game, and right now Kevin Glenn looks like, again, he's got this offense to get a little jump in their step. Watch how quickly he gets the ball out of there. DeAndre Cobb comes out of the backfield, a little quick throw to give him a chance to turn around and square Davis Sanchez up so that he can make a move on him.
5 catches for 75 yards against the Lions a couple of weeks ago when he was the offensive player of the week. Time for Glenn. And there is Stalla with another catch. Ramon Guzman is in at linebacker for the Alouettes. It brings down Stalla at the 44, close to a first down.
Kevin Glenn was waiting for Marquis McDaniel to come across on the deeper layer, and he couldn't wait any longer, so he hit the crossing route from Stalla. Stalla comes across there, McDaniel at the top. Over and under is what it's called, and it was too late. McDaniel didn't get there in time, so he had to dump it underneath to Stalla.
Stalla with a touchdown last week against the Blue Bombers and ran into the end zone, and he looked up, and a bunch of his old high school teammates were there, so he joined them in the celebration. It is second and short, so to Froliss in with Marwan Hage trying to push ahead, and by reaching the 45, it should be a first down. Just a final thought on those 2 long Montreal drives. They had the ball for over 12 minutes on 2 separate drives and scored only 3 points. A field goal and a turnover that keeps the Ticats in this game.
Yeah, in striking range. I mean, that's not this is the Montreal defense. Coming in, ranked 1 against the run, 3 against the pass, 1 in points allowed, and number 1 in the league in giveaway takeaway. So this is a tough defense to move the ball on, as Quentin Porter found out, but there is still enough time. Kevin Glenn is a veteran.
And a good series here for Glenn developing. He's taken them out of a big hole and is 3 for 3 for 42 yards. First down, and Glenn throwing the sideline pass, and there's Rodriguez unable to bring it in. Another one he should have had, and that's a couple here tonight.
Well, you know, that's the thing about playing against this Montreal team, is that you have to make these plays. And appreciate Rodriguez is only in his 2nd year. He's at the top of your screen. He's just going to get one-on-one. Estella has been there in that press coverage up on in his face a few times tonight. They've gone after it now. In the first play of the game, or the first series of the game, he had a chance for another big play that he dropped. You got to make those plays against this team. It's that good.
Instead, it's 2nd and 10. Here comes the rush. Good protection, open man. Marquis McDaniel, first down, and dropped at the 47, but Kevin Glenn has the Ticats rolling.
You see, Kevin Glenn knew the pressure was coming, and now he just had to wait for McDaniel to open up on that curl route, because it's tough to cover on the underneath type routes when you're trying to play off in blitz coverage, and there he is in that hole.
Glenn very comfortable in this system. He has worked under Marcel Belfait in Saskatchewan. And this offense, a lot like the Doug Barry offense, he was at the controls of Winnipeg, and he has the moving here. Play action fake. And a pass caught by Stala. Nice grab. Good hands by Dave Stala working against Chip Cox. 5 on that pickup. And the one advantage the Ticats tell us that number 5 has, he, with all the experience he has, may read a little quicker right now than Quentin Porter.
Without question. I mean, you know, with his experience, 9 years in the Canadian Football League, he's seen these defenses.
Call it a 4-yard Stala pickup, 2nd and 6. Cobb. Shea Emery there, and Cobb breaks the tackle and should have the first down. That's a big run for DeAndre Cobb.
And you wonder if Marcel Belfait anyway is in 3-down territory, especially was inside of 2nd and 5, and it won't matter because DeAndre Cobb with second effort fighting through the tackle of Shea Emery is going to get it on his own. Imagine Shea Emery grading out well. He was a bit of a leap of faith for Mark Trestman to go with him, but said he's played well every single game and improved every game out.
So a first down at the Montreal 37-yard line. And Glenn looking for Rodriguez, and this time he's got it. Great catch. Flag on the play, and they'll mark him at the 10, but did he push off this time?
No, I don't think he did. I think Mark Castell grabbed him. That penalty was going to go against Mark Castell. Again, up there in press coverage. Here's Shea Rodriguez, inside move. You see the grab of the jersey. He hangs on a couple of seconds. Still makes the catch anyway, and that's a pretty one. That's the one we're used to.
Big play, Shea. The Alouette defense, the secondary guys were trying to sell that the flag was against Hamilton. Not the case, and here they are inside the 10, 1st and goal. Remember, Rodriguez scorched Estelle for 3 touchdowns last year. Back to Cobb. DeAndre Cobb down to the 2. Etchamboulet saves a touchdown.
That's the type of run Marcel Belfait was asking DeAndre Cobb. Sometimes you're going to make one cut and you got to hit the line of scrimmage and just go at it. And all of a sudden it'll open up for you. And that's what happens here, because it's going to be this action and then through the line of scrimmage. And you can see as he bounces to the right, then he just hits it up in there, right down on the goal line.
John Williams with a block, and they spotted about 1.5 yards out. 2nd and goal. Cats trying to get close midway through the 4th quarter. And Kevin Glenn, quarterback draw, and Emery there, and Glenn's for a Wildcat. That was Cobb who took the direct snap, excuse me. And he lost a 1/2 yard on the play.
Wildcat formation for DeAndre Cobb. Gets the direct snap. He's got fullback John Williams up there in front of him.
Big play by the kid Emery. Glenn back in under center. 3rd and goal from the 1. Ticats need to put it in. And a pass into the back of the end zone, dropped. Pavlovic couldn't catch it. And it's a turnover on downs. Robert Pavlovic, who scored a touchdown against the Owls last year, unable to hold on.